sun, moon,
あ、いえいえ。
water.
ナンバーワン一番。ナンバーワン一番。ナンバーワン一番。
Wait. Hi everyone! Welcome to DMFA Digital Marketing for Asia. My name is Joanna
I'm Sotaro.
and we work at SoftBank Telecom Europe. So in today's video, we would like to talk about 3 biggest challenges companies face when they're trying to enter the Japanese market. So over the years, we've worked with so many different companies and brands. So I think we have quite a good understanding of what are the biggest challenges and what they struggle the most when they try to enter the Japanese market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us jump right into it. Number 1,
一番.
language barrier.
I think the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to entering a new market is language barrier, especially markets like Asia or Japan. Like there are a lot of resources are not translated in English. If you don't speak the language, that might be quite overwhelming.
Yeah, even for me, I've been studying Japanese for such a long time now, I think for over 10 years, and I think it would still be very difficult for me to, for example, create perfect ad content in Japanese. So yeah, language barrier is definitely a big one. And on top of that, you can use Google Translate, but it's not going to do the job. I think we've all seen those kind of memes on the internet where people wear like a t-shirt or they have a tattoo with like Japanese characters, and it just completely doesn't make sense. Actually, I had a friend at the university and she had like a tattoo through the back of her spine, like in the back, and it was like stuff like characters like sun, moon,
Oh, yeah.
water. So it just doesn't make sense. So yeah.
So I think translating Japanese is very like difficult thing or maybe difficult skill to master, mainly due to like this like languages like unique nuances or like unique like cultural nuances. And recently I had a chance to sort of realize how difficult it is to translate Japanese. I went to see Jujutsu Kaisen film in London. So I was watching a Japanese film with English subtitles, and there are quite a few scenes where like English subtitles couldn't really deliver the true meaning of what characters were saying.
Yeah.
So to explain how difficult it is to translate Japanese, so the Japanese conscience was very sensitive to the like level of politeness and also the use of vocabulary in hard copy. There are also 3 different alphabets: hiragana, katakana, and also kanji.
Yeah, taking all of this into consideration, I think this is just essential to have a native Japanese speaker on your team to ensure that your ad content and your landing page content is perfect and ready to go. And I think it's also important not just to get a native Japanese speaker, but to have a Japanese speaker who's also a PPC expert to look over the keyword list as well. We are so lucky to work with an amazing team of bilingual Japanese and English speakers. So if you're thinking about entering the Japanese market, just please, as always, don't forget to get in touch. I'm going to make sure to link the contact form in the description down below. Number 2
2番.
is cultural differences. I think as for cultural differences, you'll find that the Japanese people are usually very quality conscious. I think it's one of the things that you'll notice as soon as you arrive to Japan. Just the high quality of not only services but products. This is very much applicable online as well. I think compared to other markets, having high quality of services and products is key to to get through to the Japanese consumers. Furthermore, in Japan, people may celebrate different holidays than, let's say, we celebrate here in the UK or in the US. And also the holidays that we celebrate, like let's say Christmas or New Year's, are celebrated in a very different way in Japan. So you should make sure to include local holidays and special events in your marketing calendar to optimize your marketing strategy.
So I think localizing your market or digital marketing strategy in a new market is a must. I think things that work in one country might be a total flop in another.
Yes.
So from time to time, like we hear stories like very like successful businesses or companies, they fail because they couldn't really localize their products or services or maybe arts as well in new markets, and that's why some companies sort of like see themselves failing in the new market.
Yeah, actually, it's good that you mentioned it. Let's give you an example of what we're actually talking about. Let's talk about IKEA. I think everybody knows IKEA is a furniture giant. You probably own at least one thing, if not more, in your home that's from IKEA. This table was probably from IKEA. So actually, when IKEA first entered the Japanese market in 1974, they were absolutely unable to reach through to the Japanese consumers, and they had to leave the market just 12 years later. I was actually shocked when I found out about
I was
this,
shocked too.
right?
So the failure of IKEA actually led to extensive consumer research. Also, the failure made it clear that no two markets are the same. So that's why IKEA sort of understood why they needed to localize products, not only localize products, but also arts and services, adjusting for a new market.
Again, in 2006, IKEA decided to re-enter the Japanese market. They opened a mega store in Tokyo, and they implemented 3 changes that feel, just like little tweaks, but they were actually a massive success. So the first thing they did, they started offering smaller furniture, and the furniture had simpler designs. Then the second thing they did, they made sure that the products matched the Japanese lifestyle. And then the third thing they did was to offer delivery and furniture assembly services. So they realized, because you go to IKEA, you buy stuff, then you go home, and then 5 days later you build a chair. And they realized that Japanese people absolutely do not appreciate the fact that you have to build it yourself. Like, Japanese people are all about convenience. So yeah, after implementing those 3 changes, they did it. They are now very successful. They have 12 stores around the country. So yeah.
Good job.
Number 3.
3番. What platform should I use? Whenever you think about running arts, research or display arts, maybe Google might be the first option, especially here in the UK or in Europe. If you think about social media arts, maybe you see a lot of TikTok or Instagram sports arts. So is this the same for Japan?
The simple answer is no, it's not. In contrary to the Western countries, Google is not the only dominant online platform. It's Yahoo Japan, which is the biggest Japanese online platform. And according to StatCounter, Google has about 74.5% of the market share, while Yahoo Japan has 20.3% of the market share. So depending on your business sector and your target audience, we would recommend to run tailored campaigns using both platforms. So actually, Yahoo Japan has over 78 billion monthly page views.
So when I'm back in Japan, I actually use quite a few Yahoo Japan services, like weather checking. When I'm checking weather, I probably go into Yahoo Japan and check the weather, and also sort of how to get from one point to another. I probably use Yahoo Japan. There's also Yahoo Auction, which you can use to sell your products, or maybe buy stuff, which probably in Western countries people use eBay for. So probably same as eBay, but just Japanese.
Yeah, I think Yahoo Auctions and Yahoo Shopping are within the 3 most popular e-commerce marketplaces in Japan.
So therefore, choosing both Yahoo Japan and Google Ads, it's probably the best approach to maximize your reach in Japan.
Okay, in terms of social media, I think the majority of Japanese people use Line, and it is actually the most popular social media platform in Japan. And you can reach the widest audience regardless of age, gender, interests, etc. So we actually spoke more about Line in our previous video. I'm going to link it somewhere on the screen, here or here. So make sure to check this out as well.
So Twitter has 45 active monthly users, or 36% of population. So Twitters are basically used by celebrities or maybe influencers, and also it is used to stay up to date on the current news or what is going on in the world.
And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
And I hope you'll visit us again soon. So we hope this video was helpful and you could learn something new about the challenges you may have when you try to enter the Japanese market.
So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to thumbs up.
And subscribe to our DMFA channel. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!